What up, everybody? What up, everybody? He'll be here shortly. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Carlton Hamilton. This is Plan Your Greatness. All right, I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton, and let's get right to it. All right, we always do the weigh-in. I'm gonna start doing a shout out to some intermittent fasting. I've been doing that. I've been eating healthy. My weigh-in today, 246. I got a good workout today. No, didn't work out with my daughter. She wasn't feeling well, but I still need to make sure I got my work on in. So 246. I'm holding steady. So next goal is to get below 245. Gotta do it in increments. 245 and then 240. All right. This is the last one in the chapter 11 of the book, Plan Your Greatness. Right here. There it is. Plan Your Greatness, Life, Love, and Business After Sports in Prison by Carlton Byron Hamilton. That's me. All right. So that book has a specific chapter in chapter 11 that talks about the 9 pillars of success, which are the support for the 3 questions, which what the book is really based around is you're finding yourself maybe in a need to reinvent yourself. And so these are the 3 questions that help you do that. What do you want? Why do you want it? Can you see it in your imagination? These 9 pillars of success in chapter 11 are the foundation. So we've gone through all of them. Today is the last one. This is number 9. So I'm not going to go through all 8 of them and remind you, you can go back and look at all the videos. There's one video for each one of the pillars. But today we are going to cover, real quickly, we're going to go through, and here's the thing, this is really cool. This is the last one, and this should be my shortest video in the series. But again, this is number 9. This is maximize your day the night before, or in other words, be ready to wake up and live out your dream. All right. Now, I do this, and I started doing this before with some other training that I had, but I ran into this guy, or just in my research on the internet, this guy's name is Vishen Lakhiani. If you type that in there, you'll pull his name up, or if you just type up Mind Valley. And I was actually looking at some other speakers, and they were on his platform. But what he shared with me is something that I use now. He has a somewhere between 15 and 35 minute premeditative state that he does, I think, before he goes to bed, or maybe even before he gets up in the morning. Vishen Lakhiani, Mind Valley. So look that up, you'll find it. But this is what I took from his meditation is just the deep breathing and preparing yourself for bed. Because you're going to hear me talk about this quickly through here, is that a lot of us will have a bad day, and then what we'll do is we'll take that into your sleep. And I believe that space when you're sleeping, I believe that is the closest that we are to the creative spirit. All right, now I'm going to get back on that in a second, but I just want to throw that out there, is that what I do before I go to bed, I have these words that I say. Now, I started out first of all saying, I am peace. I'm going to read them off just so I can run through them real quickly. I would say to myself, I am peace, power, perfect, prosperous, giving, loving, happy, whole, harmonious. Let me see if I remember the next one. Healthy, wealthy, successful, abundant. And each one I would say, I am power, I am peace. But then this is what I found out, that I actually got some kind of spiritual feedback, because my conscious mind was dealing with me very truthfully. And he was like, wealthy? You ain't wealthy. Successful? You're not successful. Because I had a picture in my mind what was wealthy, what was successful, what was abundant. And just we'll take abundant for a second. I saw abundant as being so overly just with everything that I need, that I had money coming in that was extra. I had money to get extra clothing. So at a level of abundance, that means I'm so overflowing with time and money that I could then just overflow and give to other people. I was not at that place yet. So my conscious mind said, you're not there yet. So it did not send a direct message to my subconscious mind. So my subconscious mind was saying, the conscious mind said, you ain't there yet. So I don't believe it. So then it caused this friction, and I wasn't there. So what I removed was the I am. Once I moved the I am, then the thoughts were a lot smoother. All right. So now before I'm going to bed, I say I'm peace, power, perfect, prosper. Peace, power, perfect, prosperous, giving, loving, happy, whole, harmonious, healthy, wealthy, successful, abundant. I just say those words. Now I have an image in my head at what that is. What is peace? What is power? So I'm sending this very beautiful message out there to like saying, what is that? So then I believe that as I send that message out there, the universe responds back and sends that message to greet me. So now we're searching for each other. So during my day, I'm searching for peace. I'm seeing these things. I'm recognizing them, and it's recognizing me. So that's the space I try to get into as I'm going to bed. Now I'm getting back at something else. Now, if you've had a bad day, I mean just tough, challenging day, typically this is what a lot of us do. We'll eat with an attitude. We'll brush our teeth with an attitude at the end of the day. We'll take a shower with an attitude. We'll jump into bed and we'll grab the pillows with an attitude. And you know what? You take that nasty ass attitude with you in the sleep realm, because I believe at that point, now let me just, I'm gonna throw some out here and I'm gonna keep moving on. There's a bunch of languages on the planet. So what language do you think God speaks? There's a bunch of answers to that question on what people interpret, because how does God understand all these languages? So some people will just say, well, God just speaks all the languages. I have a theory. Okay. My theory is God speaks one language, and there is a language that is common to all of us. Instead of God speaking 1,000 languages and all these different dialects all over the place, there's one language, and we all speak it. And I believe that language is silence. Because if you close your mouth, okay, what I want you to do with this video, I want you to say ice cream, but do not say it out loud. Okay? Say it. Okay? I just said ice cream. You just said ice cream. But here's what happened. You didn't say it out loud. So who said that? What part of your body said ice cream? Yeah. Who said that? Something in you said that. And I believe whatever that is, I think that's the sign. Whatever that is what talks with God. And you're talking at that level when you're sleeping. Now, I'm going to get off of that because that's a little deep. I might want to have to do a whole video on that, but that's a little deep. So I'm just saying that when you go into the sleep realm, you want to be very conscious. What I'm looking for is you want to be very deliberate, intentional in your thinking, in your energy, and what you are carrying into that conversation. Because just imagine this. Say every time you go to sleep, that is your conversation with God or spirit or whatever you believe in. It is the higher power that is governing everything or just governing you. What language are you going to take it in? Are you going to take a bad day in there with you? Or are you going to want to take something, positive? I'll take the positive in there. Because first of all, I don't think that entity wants to hear all your bitching and moaning. They want to hear something good. They want to hear your goals. What are you about? Oh man, that dude at work. That dude, my ex. No, don't want to hear that. What are you planning? What are you doing? What did you accomplish today? That's the conversation I want to hear. All right? All right, so silence is, I believe, what the language of God is. Because that goes in line with what Napoleon Hill says in his book, which is the saying that most people are familiar with. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. That is a conversation that you're having with yourself. All right? Now, I talk a little bit more in chapter 11, where, and this is the last part, maximize the day the night before. I talk a little bit about the difference between the 1%ers and the 99%ers. Okay? And what have I found in my little kind of raw study is the 1% and the 99%ers, they see the same thing. There is nothing in their eyes that they do not see. It's what they do with what they see is what separates the 1%ers from the 99%ers. We all see the same thing, but how do we interpret that, and what we do, how much action do we take after we see what we see? So I believe that is very, very important, because I believe then that moves into the level of what they call psychological projection. All right. Now, I'm real quick. If you are familiar with in psychology, the term of projection, that is having something. This is a little raw, so don't quote me on this, but this is my understanding. In psychological projection, it is that you have something, probably a flaw, in your world, in your mind, in your being. But instead of directly addressing it in your world, what you do is you find it in other people, or you project it onto other people, and then you try to resolve it in their life. Thinking, now this is the major flaw, is you think that when you resolve it in someone else's life, it is going to then become resolved in your life. And we know that that's not true. Is that if you have an issue in your life, you have to directly confront it. Doesn't matter how, and we see this with people that are working the behavioral health fields. They're constantly solving problems for people in the behavioral health field. They never address their own. I see it in your life. Okay, this is how we address it, blah, 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 blah. And my understanding, my theory behind that is it's painful. I am the perfect example of that. That process that I went through from after professional baseball to figuring out that I was going through a bout of depression and having to address that. Looking at my life and realizing that I really don't have any skills. So I went back to school. That was a 4-year grind. Okay, so I realized that I went through depression undiagnosed. I realized I did not have any skills. I realized that when I entered into the prison system, graduating from high school with about a 1.5 grade point average, I took the SAT and I believe I got an 11 on it. Okay, so that tells you what level of comprehension in math and science, what I was working with as I was graduating high school. All right. So I knew I had all those deficiencies, and I attacked them. I attacked them like you would not believe. All right. So that is just the understanding of how you look at things and how you address them, and how you change the self-talk that you have in your mind and the belief system to create, rewire and reprogram yourself. Okay. Look over your goals. This is a part of the process when you are maximizing your day the night before. Before you go to bed, make up your words. Like, I have peace, power. You can roll it back and see all the words that I use. Pick whatever words that you want to use to think about those things as you are preparing yourself for that conversation with your spiritual advisor, whatever you want to call it, into that sleep realm. Okay? And after you do that, look over your goals at night. Go over them. What are the things that you want to accomplish? Take that in there. Then when you wake up in the morning, say those words again. So they're implanted in your brain, and then look over your goals again. Okay? Ask yourself, how was your day? And this is important. Ask yourself, how was your day? And then you may say, you know what, the day sucked. But then make sure you follow up with, you know what, it was a tough day. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get back on that horse. I'm gonna ride that sucker off again. I'm gonna grind. You make sure that if you have a negative thought about something, your day, that you follow it up with a better thought and then maybe even a plan of action, what you're gonna do. Okay? Be thoughtful, be intentional, be purposeful. If you review that bad day, now I'm gonna use this as an example, okay? There wasn't a lot of film study in baseball. There is a lot now. Hitters study pitchers study hitters. But in football, film study has been around since the beginning of time. All right? Now think about this. Why does a coach, why does a quarterback, why does a wide receiver, linebacker, center, all these very key positions, safeties, why do they study film all day? They're trying to pick up tendencies. They're looking at things on themselves and they're looking at things in other people because they're trying to correct mistakes or trying to anticipate things that come about and they go, I recognize, I've seen that before. Instead of going this way, I'm going to go this way. Okay? But this is what we end up doing in our lives. We look at the film and just start bitching and moaning about it. Oh, damn, my day was messed up, blah, blah, blah. And then we don't look at how we can correct that. Okay? Take that as a little bit of advice as far as what athletes do. The prime elite athletes, look at that film, study it to the point where they are flawless. They see the anticipation of what's going on and then they make adjustments. That life now becomes they see what's going on. It's very predictable. All right? So that you want to use that as your film study so that you can go into your next day, that you can give maximum effort mentally and physically. All right? Now, what we end up having, and I've used this example with my daughter. You might have heard me say this before. My daughter is starting to finally learn how to compete because we had this conversation. I said, sweetie, look, I said, you want to be the boss, but you don't want to work like the boss. You, like they say, you don't, like Snoop Dogg said, you don't want to pay the cost to be the boss, but you want the boss's check. Okay? And that's a lot of us do that. We want this great pay, but we don't want to put the work in because we know that work, that's hard work. Where I'm at right now, if I had to go back and just look at it, somebody told me, all right, Carl, here's the deal. And we're talking from just the time that I got out of prison. Somebody said, all right, Carl, look, here's the deal. You're out of prison. You don't have a college degree. You don't really have any skills. Okay? And if you want to get to where you're going to get, you're going to have to grind and work at the same time, get through this college degree. Okay? Then after that, you're going to start applying for jobs and people are going to slam doors on you. You're going to be escorted out of places because they're going to find out about your felony. You're going to actually even get jobs. And then you're going to be fired at that point because they did a background check. Then you're going to get jobs and you're going to start moving up within the job and then they're going to do a background check and then they're going to fire you at that point. You see what I'm saying? And then you're gonna start on your own business. You're going to have the typical expenses, cars breaking down. You're going to be building your tax business. There's going to be times where you don't have enough food, like in the movie, what is that? What's the movie? The Pursuit of Happiness, where you're sitting there and you only have enough food to feed your son and daughter. They're smiling and they're eating and your stomach is just growling because you really don't have enough to stretch the money and making sure that your kids have the things. I told my daughter that story the other day and she nearly started crying. And I said, sweetie, here's the understanding. I know as a grown-up man, I could mentally go without eating and survive that. How do I make a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old not have any food? It won't comprehend to them. Why don't we have the food? Why don't we have the things? That's traumatic. Okay? So just understanding the work and the grind that goes into that. Ralph Waldo Emerson in his essay, what is it called? The essay, The Law of Compensation. He very simply says, do the thing and you shall have the power. Do not the thing and you do not have the power. It's very simple. If you want something, you have got to be engaged in the business of either directly or indirectly doing what that requires to get what you want. If you don't do it, you don't get it. Some people just do not understand that as far as how just the natural work that goes in if you really want something. All right, as we close, I didn't expect this video to be this long, but I needed to hit on some key points. All right, last one. That's the process you want to go through the night before to maximize your day the night before. A lot of people feel that they're going to get started that day and then they're going to just jump into that day. But I believe you firmly set the table for your tomorrow the night before on how you speak to yourself, because I believe that's exactly how you're going to wake up. All right, so here's my challenge to you. This is the last one, so you're not going to see any more videos about this. We're going to be going on to other stuff. So my challenge to you is get out of here. Okay? Ask and answer the 3 questions. What do you want? Why do you want it? And can you see yourself accomplishing that goal? Once you've answered that question, you're going to lay this foundation. Then I challenge you to pick one pillar. You follow that pillar until it becomes yours. Once that one pillar becomes yours, go to a second one. You don't have to put them in the order that I gave them. That's just how they came to me. You can do any order you want. But do that until it becomes yours, and then go to your second one, third one, until you have all 9 of them. Now, some of you may have some other ones, but these I think are very important and very specific for when you're setting goals and you're trying to accomplish things as far as getting a new job, moving to a new space. All right, so like this page, subscribe to this page, share this page. All right, this is Carlton Hamilton. Plan your greatness. I'm going to say this again. Plan your greatness, because no one else will. All right, I will see you all next time. See, get that out of the face. See you all next time.